that's a genetically modified food. And I mean, that is what you were saying earlier about wastage is actually the reason that they've done it, because when you do that kind of, sugar's also a preservative. So where you have a purely organic field that doesn't get tampered with at all, they just put a bit of potash as the fertilizer, you'll waste some 15% of your field. But when you fill it with sugar, which is a preservative, and a pesticide to keep the bugs off from eating the sugar, well, then you get pretty much all of your crop all of the time, and it's also easier to control in terms of size and shape as well, because it's all plumped up. So, the food manufacturer, they get most of their crop, very little wastage, and we get to buy a bag of carrots for £1. So it's does that make sense?
Well, I guess so, yeah. And I wonder if anybody else has any knowledge of this. I wonder if there were any You know what? It's perfect time for the morning for farmers. They'll be waking up around about now. So maybe some of them can tell us, from the thick end of the carrot.
Well, a couple of your colleagues have actually spoken about this in the past couple of months. Actually, Christo knows about it, and Ollie.
Oh, yeah.
Ollie Mann, he's spoken about. But 1990 is when that all started to happen. And I haven't looked at it, but I reckon if you look back on the obesity levels back in 1990 and compare them to today, I bet they're, on a graph, the lines would be pretty damn similar with the increase of all the sugar and stuff.
Right. Well, you may be right. Well, I'll throw it out there and we'll see where we get back. Thanks for that, Dario.
Cheers, mate.
0345 6060 973. Richard emails. Nick, for goodness sake, these people phoning up with these fad diets. So what? You live 2 or 3 more years longer. Whoop-de-doo. Wow, it's easy for you to say, Richard. He says, with Ebola, ISIS, the crashing meteor and global warming about to wipe out the human race, to heck with fad diets. Enjoy life while you can and have good health. All I see now are ex-athletes with joint and back pains for years of exercising or simply dropping dead. We see these stick insects who only eat water, who only eat water-soaked tissue paper. Simple answer to all this: eat what you like, when you like, but in moderation. Use a small plate, walk more, reduce alcohol intake, but most of all, enjoy life. It's soon gone. Wow, no, that can't be it, Richard. It must be something else. Moderation? I don't think so. That'll never catch on. Robert says, the cause of obesity is in the solution. Adjust the quality. No junk food, and the quantity. Always have hunger in your belly. And embark on some major exercise. This works for me every time, and the only hurdle to doing this is the lack of time. Yes. I was talking to a fellow a little while ago about the caveman diet. And I suppose one of the things that's true about cavemen, well, I imagine, is a thing that's pretty true for wild animals in general, is that they did and do live with hunger. They're not satiated all the time, because we are, never more than an arm's length away from a snack. And so we're just constantly topping ourselves up, I suppose. And what we do not do is go a day without eating. And I suppose cavemen, that's precisely what happened. You'd wake up at the crack of dawn, your caveman alarm would go off, and you'd look around your desultory manor, and there would be nothing to eat. And so you think, right, I've got to go out and kill something now, and there wouldn't be anything on the horizon. You'd be scanning it, and not a buffalo nor bison. You know the difference between a buffalo and a bison, by the way? I'm not going to tell that joke. And so you go a day, trying to track one down. And we do not do that now. The only point at which that could be even a remote possibility would be if you'd forgotten to buy any groceries on New Year's Eve. and everything was shut the following day. Other than that, it would just never happen. So maybe we need to embrace hunger. You embrace hunger, I'll keep snacking. 0345 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC. It's 3:30. News headlines. Lindsay Kinghorn.
Police have arrested a second man on suspicion of murder as they continue to investigate the disappearance of a schoolgirl from West London. 14-year-old Alice Gross hasn't been seen for a week and a half. Over the weekend, specialist police divers were brought in to search a local canal. Both sides of the Scottish referendum debate will be back on the campaign trail today. Politicians will be trying to win over undecided voters. It follows a poll at the weekend showing a slight lead for the Yes camp, the first time it's been ahead. A ceasefire in eastern Ukraine is looking increasingly likely to break down. There's been a second night of explosions near the city of Mariupol. It's the same area where a woman died in shelling over the weekend. And Kei Nishikori will take on Marin Cilic at the men's final of the US Open tennis later. Last night saw Serena Williams beat Caroline Wozniacki in straight sets, 6-3, 6-3 in the women's final. LBC weather, dry overnight in London and the southeast. Some light winds and clear spells expected. Also some mist and fog patches in places, lows of 14 degrees. Later today, staying fine across the UK with plenty of warm sunshine, especially in England, Wales and southern Scotland, highs of 21 Celsius. From Global's newsroom for LBC, I'm Lindsay Kinghorn.
This is LBC. You in?
Just about. You know, if I had my own new car, it wouldn't be such a problem getting back to uni. My roommate said you can buy a cool new Vauxhall Corsa Sting from £7,999. Perhaps with my birthday coming up.
I couldn't agree more.
Really?
Yes, if I had a new Vauxhall 1.8 Zafira Capital, we could fit all your possessions in easily. No problem whatsoever. And I've heard you can buy one from only £11,499 with over £1,900 worth of free specification. Maybe I'll treat myself.
Oh.
For more information on these great offers or to arrange a test drive, visit wjking.co.uk/radio. Terms and conditions apply. Savings based on list price. Also available with a diesel engine.
You never know when or where you'll need a phone number. So be prepared. Carry every single UK phone directory in your backpack, all 272 of them. Or, and this is far more convenient, call 118434. It's a handy way to find handymen, handicrafts or second-hand shops, all from the palm of your hand. 118434, whatever you're looking for.
Calls cost 55 pence plus 99 pence per minute from a BT landline. Other networks vary and mobiles cost considerably more.
The last thing you need is a broken boiler. So it's good to know that last winter British Gas got to an average of 95% of home care customers without heating or hot water on the same day when called before 1 p.m. And when you sign up to home care before the 30th of November, you'll get 17% off. Call 0800 009 4747 or search British Gas Home Care. Conditions apply.
Nick Abbott on LBC.
We're talking food, glorious food. It's going to be the death of us. Wood Green. Hello, Jeff.
Hi, Nick.
Jeff.
Yeah, I just want to, quickly, if I can touch on the caveman you was just talking about.
Yeah, touch away.
The caveman, he would be active in chasing down this food. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, he's doing his cardio while he's chasing his food.
Yeah, that's right.
So he's obviously going to be on a nicer kind of like metabolic rate. Anyway, back to the point I wanted to make.
How he ever caught up with it, I have no idea. I mean, can you imagine trying to catch like a buffalo or a bison that could see you coming? How did they manage it?
I don't know, but that's it. They had less things to slow them down at that point, though, didn't they? You know, they was well in tune with all their senses and everything, their physical abilities, everything was on point.
Must have been.
You know, and plus the animal's health was good as well at that point. You know, but yeah. So I heard a few callers ago, and you was talking about why has the people's metabolic rate slowed down.
Right.
Yeah. My theory is that, like, do you go to the gym, Nick?
Yes.
Yeah. How many hours a week would you say you train in the gym?
Well, it depends who's asking. If my doctor's asking, I'll say 4. If you're asking, I'll say 3 maximum.
Right, okay. So how many hours do you spend on the radio?
It depends. Usually it's... I usually do 2 shows a week.
Right. And then how many hours do you spend travelling in your car?
What, to and from the radio?
To and from the radio and anywhere else you need to go.
Just
roughly.
I don't know, like maybe 3 or 4?
Right. So in a course of a week, it would be fair to say you actually spend more time sitting down than you do exercising.
Oh, blimey, are you kidding? I spend my entire life sitting down, almost never stand up.
So this is the population of people. This is what they do. So although they might think they're eating healthy and all that, and going to the gym, they're still actually inactive.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you're probably right. But I don't see the difference now to 20 or 30 years ago. I think people were inactive then as they are now.
Well, I think maybe since the internet has come to our availability, it's easier for people to actually be more inactive. A lot of the jobs now are internet-based, computer-based. There's physical jobs have kind of gone out the window now, you see.
Yeah, you're right. However, it doesn't do like sedentary office jobs now, just as they used to.
Yeah, and then that's where the food comes in. So although office jobs still remain the same, the food now is playing a big part, and everyone's like eating empty calories at the same time.
Well, it's interesting that, if you go to France and Italy, they actually get up from their tables, from their work, and go, and they don't stand up much, but they go and sit in a restaurant, and then they have lunch for 2 hours.
Yeah, wow.
And they seem to be thinner than we are.
Okay. Maybe their food consists of more nutrients.
Well, it consists of more calories. I mean, if you've ever been to Italy or France, you know that they eat, France is everything is covered in cream and cooked in butter. And in Italy, they got pasta, and the dinner comes in 4 courses, and they just never stop eating.
Yeah. But do they have a lot of fast food joints around there?
Well, that's a good point. Not as many as we do.
Right.
All right, thanks a lot, Jeff. Cheers, mate. 0345 6060 973. I know that the finger of guilt gets pointed at fast food joints, but, I mean, how much fast food do people actually eat? I can understand that kids would want to go to, have a happy meal of a weekend, but people aren't eating in there every day, are they? What I found quite sad is around about Christmas time, people have the celebratory Christmas dinner in a burger joint. I mean, come on, people. Make a bit of effort. Here's a call in Beckenham. Hello, Shirley.
Hello.
Shirley.
Oh, am I actually speaking to you now?
It sounds like you.
Oh, excellent. Good. I've been waiting rather a long time.
Oh.
Yes, I think that there's lots of things that are big causes of overweight. I never eat takeaways or ready meals for a start. I cook just simple food like mostly chicken and fish and veg and stuff.
Yeah.
But also, a lot of people smother their food in sauces and ketchup. Now, ketchup apparently has immense amounts of sugar in it, and lots of other things of that sort do as well.
But you don't eat that much ketchup, though, surely?
Oh, some people smother their food. I've known people who won't eat anything unless they've got ketchup on it.
Well, I had a meal with ketchup just this evening before I came out. And the thing that I always do with ketchup is I put way too much on the plate, then only eat a little bit of it.
Oh,
and so
right. Well, you're not too bad then. But there is massive.
I must throw about half the bottle away.
And sugar is one of the worst things. And so much, everybody's been talking about it. I was going to talk about it ages ago, but lots of people have said what I was going to say, in that there is concealed sugar in so many things. One of the main things, I think most young people these days, they never just drink water. They just drink fizzy drinks and all sorts of drinks out of cans and bottles and stuff all the time. And practically all of those have got sugar in.
Well, it was exactly the same when I was a kid. We, Pepsi and Coke and Fanta and all of that stuff was available. But we never drank water. If it wasn't a fizzy canned drink, then it was like Ribena or orange squash and stuff like that. I don't think people have changed that much.
But water is actually much nicer, honestly, if you get used to it.
Not really.
Well, I think so. I never drink anything but water as regards.
How tall are you, Shirley?
I'm 5'7", and I'm 81, and I've got low blood pressure. And except for the fact that I fell over in my kitchen and had a bleed and had to have an operation on my brain fairly recently, I'm pretty healthy. And I hardly ever eat I avoid the processed foods as much as possible.
Now, did you read this thing about the key to long life is having a waist no bigger than half your height?
Well, that would be... When I was young, my waist was pretty slim for my height, but because I'm old now, and because I've not been completely fit this last year, I've put it on around the middle, but my arms and legs are still very slim, actually. But I just think people do eat a lot of rubbish and things, of course, lots of things as well, very high-fat food, which is not good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, things like, even with meat, you see, I've been, lately I've heard that it's better to stick to chicken and fish because pork and beef and lamb are the red, what they call the red meat, are not particularly good for you.
I thought pork was the other white meat.
I'm not sure, but it's quite fatty, isn't it, pork?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
But I don't know. I think simple food. People tend to not cook enough at home, not cook ordinary meals like we used to have, like, I don't know, shepherd's pie or
but that's mystery meat.
Stew and stuff, you know?
Yeah, mystery meat.
Yeah, but all sorts of simple homemade food, which I think was better. I mean, if you go back to the war, when food rationing was on, you didn't see many fat people around then.
Well, no, of course not. Well, you don't have to go back that far. You only have to go back to the 80s, really.
Yes, but if you think with food rationing, things like sugar and butter and all the fats and things, they were all rationed. So people were eating food with less of those things in, and those are the things that cause the problems.
Yeah. So your arms and your legs are quite thin, but you put
they're rather gorgeous, yeah.
But you put it on around your middle. So your arms and your legs, they'll live forever, surely. It's just the middle part you've got to be worried about.
Anyway.
Thanks for that. 0345 6060 973. Kensal Rise. Hello, John.
Good morning, Nick.
John.
Morning, Nick. If you get a 4-pint milk carton, the plastic one, wash it out, half fill it with water, put it in your freezer and freeze it up, fill the rest of it up with water and freeze it up, and then let it melt, and let it settle. The amount of plastic that's been leached out of the plastic carton that's in the bottom. Now, if it will do that, if this plastic is getting into your circulation, into the food chain, if you like, I don't think the body can dissolve it like it can ordinary fats, and I think this is building up in people.
Now, well, wait a minute. You take a milk carton and you half fill it with water and freeze it.
Yeah.
And then why do you then fill it half again?
Because if you done the whole thing, it'd burst.
Oh, I see. Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you defrost it.
Yeah, and then see the gunk that's in the bottom of the.
Now, it's not just milk residue.
No, you've washed the milk out. You've cleaned it right out. Now, the freezing process will leach the plastic, or I can't remember the name of it.
Are they? Oh, I bet they're called phthalates. Are they?
Bisphenol or something,
Yeah,
which
right,
is
something
a
like that, yeah.
carcinogen. I can't remember the name, and I'm certainly not going to look for it on my computer now. Yeah, I think this is building up in people, and the body's not breaking it down, and it's looking like making you look like you're fat. And the other thing is full-length mirrors. No one seems to have a full-length mirror now, so when, especially women, when they're putting the makeup on, they can't see how wide they're getting in the middle.
Well, that's an interesting point, yeah. But the plastic
the more you
thing, that
think
sounds...
about that, the more interesting it gets.
Well, the plastic thing is a bit of a worry.
Yeah, very worrying, because when I go out, I take, if I'm out for a day, I take a 4-pint carton and water with me and freeze it, so I've always got cold water to drink during the day.
Yeah.
And when you're getting near the bottom of it and drinking it, and, you know, you can look down the thing and you think, oh, God, what's that in the bottom? It wasn't there when I put the water in.
Well, I've never seen that before, but now I'm going to have to... my eyes will be out on stalks looking for it.
Have a look, it will surprise you. And the amount of stuff as well, you know, it's just... it looks like a white scum.
Oh, nice. Well, that does sound like milk, though. Are you sure you just haven't washed the inside of the bottle out?
Take my word for it.
Right, okay.
I've washed it out.
But that's a good point about a full-length mirror, I suppose. I mean, every now and again, if you're not aware that you are next to a mirror, out of the corner of your eye, you'll catch somebody and you think, God, who's that bloke? Oh, no, wait, that's me.
That is frightening when you walk past a shop and you just clock your reflection and you think, who's that fat geezer?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you suddenly realise, that's me.
I realise it's John in Kensal Rise. Thanks a lot, John. 0345 6060 973. Nick Abbott, LBC.
This is LBC.
What could be worse than sitting in a jam? With the class-leading BMW 318DM Sport now available from just $279 a month plus deposit, you could also be sitting in the wrong car. The BMW 318DM Sport. Beyond compare, not beyond reach. Find your local dealer at bmw.co.uk. 48-month hire agreement from BMW Financial Services GB Limited, 4889 initial payment, subject to status and available for new vehicles at participating BMW dealers UK only. Guarantees may be required. Mileage and other conditions apply.
If you're buying a new car this autumn, make sure it has digital radio. Ask your car dealer or visit getdigitalradio.com. If you love radio, go digital.
A house fire can take away a lifetime of memories in 2 minutes. About the time it takes to test all your smoke alarms. Fire kills. You can prevent it.
You never know when you'll need a phone number. You could log around all 272 UK phone directories or simply call 118434. It's a handy way to find handy numbers. 118434. Whatever you're looking for.
Calls cost 55 pence plus 99 pence per minute from a BT landline. Other networks vary, and mobiles cost considerably more.
Are you having any fun? The P&O Cruises Winter Sun Countdown Sale has started. There are 8 days left to get up to 35% off with our saver prices on thousands of cruise holidays. Choose from the warm welcome of the Caribbean to the magnificence of Madeira. Fly from Manchester, Birmingham and Gatwick, or sail from Southampton depending on your destination. But hurry, book before midnight on the 15th of September at POCruises.com or visit your travel agent. Time for a more extraordinary winter holiday? P&O Cruises. At all protected, discount applies to our saver prices, subject to availability, conditions apply.
Have a little fun! With so many different appliances in your home, it can be hard to keep track of how much you're spending on your energy. That's why at British Gas, we're upgrading our customers to smart meters. They help you see what you're spending on things like appliances, heating and lighting, giving you more control of your energy use, which could save you money. Find out more at britishgas.co.uk/smart. Currently rolling out. Conditions and exclusions apply. Dual fuel customers only.
This is LBC. Leading Britain's conversation with Nick Abbott. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850. Nick Abbott on LBC.
0345 6060 973. Edinburgh. Hello, Jane.
Hi.
Jane.
I'm ringing about a TV program a few months ago when they had two identical twins who were both doctors. They both went on experimental diets for a month.
Yeah.
And one ate lots of fat and very little carbohydrate, and the other one ate lots of carbohydrate and very little fat.
Right.
There turned out to be not much difference between them, but the fat diet came out better than the carbohydrate one.
So the person that ate fat was slimmer?
No, neither of them lost much weight,
Oh,
but
right.
there wasn't much difference. But the high-fat diet, he thought better, he exercised better, and no, the high-carbohydrate one thought better and exercised better, and the high-fat one, which was really surprising, became pre-diabetic.
Right, so...
And the doctors were both astonished because everybody thinks it's sugar that makes you diabetic.
Yeah. So which was better? I'm confused.
Well, the answer was don't go to extremes.
Right. Don't take part in a television experiment.
Don't do high fat and don't do high carbohydrate. Have a bit of both and
Yeah.
have lots of fruit and vegetables. But I think there may be something in the idea that fructose isn't very good.
Well, sugar of all types seems to have the finger of blame being pointed at it, yeah.
Well, it is now, but I mean, I've had a weight problem nearly all my life, and sometimes it's fat and sometimes it's sugar, and they change their minds backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
And never get anywhere. And the one thing that really worked for me was cutting down salt.
Salt?
Yep. I cut down salt, and I wasn't a person that ever took a lot, but I started counting it instead of calories, and I lost half a stone without trying.
Now, it wasn't the foods that had all salt in it that you were giving up, like crisps
I
and
was
so on.
actually counting how much salt I was eating
Yeah.
and cutting it down.
Well, what I'm saying is, was it the actual salt itself, or was it just the foods that were covered in salt that you'd stopped eating, like crisps and so on?
Bread has got a lot of salt in it, and I've forgotten now how I cut it down. One thing was having olive oil instead of butter, but a lot comes out of bread.
Yeah.
But the reason why I lost weight, I think, was that it's water retention.
Oh, salt.
It retains the water in your body.
Huh. Well, that's a new one. I mean, that's, yeah. Huh.
But bread is as salty as seawater.
Is
and
it?
I think what the government should do is reopen all the post offices and sell salt-free bread.
From the post offices?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, that's an interesting twist. Thanks a lot, Jane.
Okay.
0345 606 973. New Zealand. Patrick.
Hi, good morning.
How you going?
I'm doing well, thank you, sir.
That's a couple of Antipodean calls in a row, I reckon.
Been listening to your program about food, and I thought I'll chip in my 5 penneth worth. I've lived and worked in the UK for about 28 years. I'm now 70 and I retired back to New Zealand. I'm sitting on a veranda where we now live, which is about 4 metres away from the high water mark. My wife is down on the beach with our dog picking mussels for dinner.
Well, sitting in the filthy central London, Patrick, we don't wish to know that.
And when she comes back, we're just having salad and fresh mussels and some fish for dinner, which has all been caught at the bay here today. And it's just a completely different lifestyle. I left London March 2013. I weighed 402 pounds. And about a week ago, I saw my GP when he called round, and I weigh 252 pounds now.
So all you had to do to lose weight is to emigrate to New Zealand.
wouldn't suggest that to everyone, but no, I think it's a change of lifestyle, quite frankly, and the quality of the food. I considered the fact that there was me and there was 60 million whinging poms. Frankly, it didn't go down too well at all.
Right. Well, if only you could get an extended break in New Zealand on the NHS, wouldn't that be great?
Oh, that'd be brilliant. Yes, I'd recommend that to everyone.
But then, Patrick, a lot of us would be over there, spoiling your view,
never know that.
Picking your muscles.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here, as I said, the tide's coming in, so I should be coming back shortly.
Right.
About 70-odd kilometres behind me is Southern Alps. They're all snow. Temperature here at the moment is 29 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, well, I refer you back to the comments I made some moments ago. We don't wish to know that. Thank you. Thanks a lot, mate. 0345 6060 973. And meanwhile, I can